examined by Captain Mangena.
Possession of accused number 3.
Yes, allegedly found in the possession.
Who's acting for accused number 3? Hello? Mr. Minister, are you acting for accused number 3?
Yes, madam.
You see that? Look, I'm being fair to you. The proposition is putting contradicts your client's change of plea of utter for convict. You heard me?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
That in my list.
No problem.
Yes.
Not necessarily. Okay.
And I'm entitled to put this proposition because
Fine.
the
But you are
accused are
saying
charged
the
together.
police went somewhere, obtained or organized a projectile,
Yes.
and this projectile matches, I suppose, after it has been fired, obviously, matches the firearm.
Allegedly.
Hello?
Allegedly found.
Okay.
Yes.
Allegedly what?
Found.
No. This projectile, which you call a bullet, matches, allegedly matches.
Yes.
Allegedly matches the firearm allegedly found in the possession.
Not my lord, allegedly matches. Allegedly.
Oh, it matches, it's not allegedly.
Yes, yes.
Which firearm matches, right? The firearm
allegedly found in possession of accused number 3.
allegedly found in the possession of accused
number 3.
On which day?
On the 9th of February 2015.
On the 9th of February.
Into ebhekiswa ngumnumzana advocate Nxumalo yokubangaba luthe njengoba uphando lusiya luqhubekeka lusenziwa amapolisa ahamba ayokhangela ayofuna imbumbulu okanye ke iprojectile engamana nompu owafunyanwa umkhanelwa wesithathu ngomhla wange-9 kaFebruary 2015.
I
don't know whether you expect me to respond to that.
Yeah, but for this court, by extension of logic, the version of the state is that the police found or discovered a fragmented bullet or a projectile, either on the 26th of October 2014, and Musia says when they returned with his learned colleague here left, she found that so-called bullet on the 27th of the,
yes, on the 27th.
Yes.
Yes,
of
October.
October.
Yes.
So it's two projectiles, right? In essence, it's a fragmented bullet, and
yes,
that's
yes.
it. Now, this firearm, you say it emanated from, these projectiles emanated from, one of them emanated from the firearm allegedly found in the possession of accused number 3. Do you understand yourself?
No, my lord.
Yes.
No.
What are you saying?
No, what
How does this firearm, which
no,
is
that is not what
Okay.
I'm saying. No.
Just repeat again.
No, what I'm saying, my lord,
Yeah.
is Madala says there is the intruder, one of the intruders was in possession.
No. The proposition. So,
It starts there.
oh, I see.
That's the background of my proposition.
Okay, fine. Go
Yes.
on.
So the background of my proposition is
Yeah.
Madala says that one of the intruders was in possession of a firearm with a wheel,
Right.
which Musia describes it as a revolver. So the proposition is there's a bullet projectile which was found there, fired from the revolver, which was removed and replaced with The bullet projectile that the witness is mentioning,
The revolver which was removed.
the bullet projectile was removed and
From?
replaced with
From
a
where?
bullet from the scene.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
So there was a, a bullet.
Which was fired from the revolver.
Fine, but it was on the scene.
On the scene,
It was removed from the
it
scene.
was removed from the scene.
Right, and put where?
Removed.
Yes. Where's the logic?
Removed and it went somewhere.
Oh, that's why.
And replaced and replaced.
No, no, you're a counsel. You can't make a proposition which has no validity in logic. You say this projectile was removed from the scene, meaning from the house 13511, Kutlwano Street. It
Yes.
was removed.
Yes, taken
and,
away.
And placed where?
We don't know from the police
Oh,
what's
I
in
see.
there. Yes.
Not the police. You placed where? Removed.
Yes, taken away.
Right.
Yes.
And placed
Concealed.
where? And
Concealed somewhere.
concealed somewhere.
Yes.
So what was taken to the ballistic to the ballistic laboratory in Pretoria?
Is not the correct projectile.
Yeah, it means those projectiles.
I'm referring to the one.
No. We'll come to that. What was placed before the forensic laboratory in Pretoria? Where does it emanate from? The bullets, so-called, found on the top of the kitchen cupboard, and the fragmented bullet which was found on the floor.
Mind you, my lord, the fragmented bullet cannot be determined, undeterminable.
Yeah, fine, fine.
So you can do whatever you want with that
No,
bullet
no.
because
Wait. You see, the evidence of this witness and Musia is that all the exhibits which were
Yes,
found on
yes,
the 26th and
yes.
the 27th,
yes,
they were taken to the forensic laboratory in Pretoria
Yes.
in
for
in
now.
October.
Yes, for now.
Now you are coming, you say, that never happened, in other words, because you say the projectile was removed from the scene,
Yes,
you see,
yes.
and concealed or placed somewhere else. Now, what was taken to Pretoria? I want to understand your proposition.
And replaced with another one.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Now
the
we
one,
have 4 projectiles. Yes. Because these witnesses, they took the bullet, as you call it, which was found behind the jugs
yes,
on the kitchen cupboard, and the fragmented bullet, which was found on the floor.
we rather not debate this, my lord.
No, we're not debating it. I'm not the type of judge who's going to say yes when I don't understand. Those are removed from the scene, according to you.
Only one is removed.
Oh,
from
I
the
see.
scene. Yes, the bullet
The
projectile,
bullets, which was on the cupboard,
which he found.
was removed.
I'm saying, my lord, the proposition is the following. The bullet projectile, which was fired from the revolver, was removed and replaced with the bullet projectile, which was found by Lieutenant Colonel Mhlahlo. It was planted there, and in essence planted in order to replace it with the one which was fired from the revolver.
Okay, fine. What's your response that you planted evidence there?
Kuleyo bangaba ke na planta bungqina phayana uthini?
Ndiyazi mhlekazi akufanele ngibuze umbuzo kodwa ndifuna ucacela ukuthi ngubani lo okuthiwa waplanta ubungqina.
I know, my lord, that I'm not supposed or I'm not allowed to ask questions, but who is this person that is being alleged to have planted evidence?
Yeah, I understand. Okay.
I also understand. Unfortunately, I cannot answer. My lord, thank you. I have no further cross-examination.
No further questions. Yes, Ms. Mshololo?
Can I resume with my cross-examination tomorrow morning?
Mr. Deloy?
This is in order, my lord. The court time is expired.
Mr. Musia told the court that in the evening, or in the early hours of the morning when he arrived at the scene, amongst some of the exhibits that he was able to identify and pick up and put into the exhibit bags, into an exhibit bag was the fragmented bullet.
Umsiya ke kubungqina bakhe uxolele lenkundla ba ekufikeni kwakhe ekuzeni kusa phayana enye yezinto awasifumanayo phayana waze wayifaka ke forensic bag ile bullet ke xa ibizwa ngokupolice kuthiwa i-fragmented bullet.
Ndiyeva Mhlekazi.
I hear you.
So was that process regular? The process of picking up a fragmented bullet and putting it into directly into an exhibit bag before it being put into either the box that you referred to or an envelope?
Indlela yokwenza leyo ke ngoku enza ngayo ukuthi xa eyifumene lo fragmented bullet ayifake ngqo kwi-forensic bag engayifakanga kula box ubuthetha ngayo okanye kwi-envelope.
Andizuphendulela umsiya Mhlekazi.
I'm not going to answer on behalf of Umsiya.
Engakwazi ukuphendula i-bullet point le epackage endikhona.
The only thing I can answer for is the bullet point which was packaged in my presence on the crime scene.
Ma'am, you have said the protocol that is supposed to be followed when you're dealing with ballistic exhibits that are found at the scene. It's either to put them into a box, the one that you mentioned, or into an envelope, before you put them into an exhibit bag in order to avoid any possible contamination of those exhibits.
Kutsho wena ke ukuba ngaba yinkqubo yenu okanye inkqubo ke yasesipoliseni ukuba ngaba phambi koba into edibene neballistic ngaphambi koba ngaba ke uyifake ngqo kwesi sinqobo esi uqale uyifake kula box uthela ngayo okanye kwi-envelope.
Ewe nditshilo Mhlekazi.
Yes, I said so, my lord.
Kodwa ingathethi lonto kuba if envelope ingekho awunoyipackage i-exhibit.
But that doesn't mean that in the absence of an envelope you can't package an exhibit.
And kuxhomekeka na ku-sharpness of the exhibit.
It also depends on the sharpness of the exhibit
Oyifumene kwindawo yexhayelo.
found on the crime scene.
How does the sharpness of an exhibit affect it being placed directly into an exhibit bag?
So sharpness yayo ke ngoku ina into yakwenza kanjani ngokuba ifakwe direct ku-exhibit bag.
Inokuyiqobhoza i-exhibit bag.
It can poke a hole through or make an opening in the exhibit bag.
That is the reason why I earlier on asked you, ma'am, whether you know whether the exhibit bag that are supplied from and by the Forensic Science Laboratory are going through some testing, and then you said I should go and ask the people from the Forensic Science Laboratory, not so?
Iloo nto ke bendikubuzile mayelana ne-testing lena eyenziwayo kwezi bags ezi bendikubuzela ngenxa ke ngoku yale mpendulo unikeza ngayo ngoku waba usithi ke mandiyobuza kubo.
Iyo lento niphendulile ndathi andinalwazi ukuthi bazimanufacture kanjani Mhlekazi.
Which is why I responded by saying I have no knowledge as to how do they manufacture them.
I'm putting it to you, ma'am, that there's no need for an exhibit that is picked up at the scene to be put into some bag that doesn't come from the Forensic Science Laboratory before it is put into the Forensic Science Laboratory's bag.
From a bag that doesn't come?
I'm saying.
Wait, are you putting to her that there's no need
Yes.
for an exhibit to be put in an envelope
Yes.
which doesn't come from the Forensic Science Laboratory? Is that what you're saying?
Let me repeat my question, ma'am.
Yes, please.
I'm putting it to you, ma'am, that there's no need for an exhibit that is picked up at a scene
Ndithi kuwe ke akho mfuneko ukuba ngaba ke bungqina obucholiweyo kwindawo yexhayelo
to be put in an envelope
uba bufakwe envelopini
before it is put into a forensic bag.
ngaphambi kokuba ngaba bufakwe kwesi sinqobo ke ngokusiyi plastic. Mgama uthi akho mfuneko yoba buqale e-envelopini. Kamanye amagama nje uthi ingathathwa lanto ifakwe ngqo straight up ingakhange ifakwe envelopini akho mfuneko.
Andivumelani nawe Mhlekazi.
I disagree with you.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm at the end of this. I'm going to request the courts to assist us in terms of Section 186 to invite an expert from the Forensic Science Laboratory just to come and attest to the process that is being followed when exhibits are picked up at the scene and the usages of forensic exhibit bags.
Tike uzokwenza isicelo ke okanye kunelixa apho ke azokwenza khona isicelo enkundleni uba incede ngoba kubiziswe umuntu ke wapha eFSL azochaza ke inkqubo mayelana xa kucholwa ubungqina.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ungayenza mhlekazi lonto kodwa
Yes.
if ujonga amafoto.
You can do that, but if
Amaphoto-
you look at the photos, sorry,
Amafoto awunawuxoka iyabonisa i-envelope ukuthi nansi i-bullet point ifunyenwe kwabekwa i-envelope utsalingwayo.
photos would not tell lies because the envelope is placed there, and next to the envelope there is a bullet. Ewe.
Then le envelope yafakwa phakathi with the exhibit number kwale envelope yase forensic.
And that envelope was then taken and placed into the forensic bag with a forensic number.
Yasilwa ya photographer nama details wase station.
Sealed photograph together with the station details.
Na photo 130 ne close up number ye exhibit.
As
back
well
lay.
as photo 130, there is a close-up view of the bag.
If i-court beyingixelela uba mhlawumbi le ungixelela uba le exhibit ayifikanga ikule simo kwi-forensic or biology
if-
ballistic.
If you were putting it to me or you were telling me that when this bag reached the forensic or the biology unit, it was not in this manner,
Bendiza kuva uba uthini.
I would have understood what you were saying.
Thank you, ma'am.
Kodwa okwangoku andikakuva uba uthini.
But for now, I really don't get what you are saying.
Please hear me and hear me well, ma'am. This is what I'm saying. You're saying in photo number 128, there's an envelope, and next to it there's a bullet, and in photo number 129, it's an indication of a bullet that has been put in an envelope, and the envelope already put into a forensic bag. That's all.
Ucho Andiba?
Kunjalo
That's
mhlekazi.
correct.
I'm not so sure whether you know this, but do you know why forensic bags are made to be transparent?
Ngabe unolwazi
The
na?
color of forensic bag.
Ba kutheni na ingqoba ezi ke okanye izingqobo ezi zenziwa ngohlobo lokuba ngaba ke ukwazi ubona phakathi kuzo.
Ndiyayazi lonto mhlekazi.
I do know that.
Exactly. Why?
Kungoba
Ukuthi kubonakala kube into nefakwe ngaphakathi.
so that you're able to see as to what is inside.
Thank you. And I'm asking these questions on the basis of what you've just explained here. Go to picture number 129, photo number 129. With your analogy, with your explanation, may you kindly indicate where is the bullet there? As depicted in photo number 129, where is the bullet there? Or where is the exhibit that has just been next to the envelope in photo number 128?
Then the bullet iphi apha kule ifoto
Iphakathi kwale envelope
inside the
forensic
envelope
bag.
which is in the forensic bag.
What confirmation, ma'am, except what you're saying, that this bullet is inside this envelope?
Kuyabonisa apha kubhaliwe exhibit 1. Ifakiwe kwi-envelope yafakwa kwi-forensic bag. Kule forensic bag u-exhibit 1 uyabonakala. I-envelope engaphakathi kwale bullet, i-envelope engaphakathi kwale forensic bag iyabonakala.
It is written there when you are on page 128 that it's exhibit 1, there's a bullet. Now on photo 129, there's the envelope inside the exhibit bag, and it is written on it exhibit 1. And uthini apha? Uthi apha.
Iyafalwa. Ne-envelope iyabonakala apha kule
And
exhibit
then
bag.
on photo 130, it is sealed, and then you are able to see, you can see the envelope inside.
And ndiyathemba xa ifika e-forensic, umuntu oyifumanayo e-forensic or oyi-analyzayo uzawuyichaza nayo uba ufumene ntoni phakathi kwale envelope.
And I trust that at forensic as well, the person now who analyzed this will then say, what is it that he or she found inside the envelope
And the forensic bag.
in the forensic bag?
So, ma'am, you would agree with me that your explanation, that the reason why forensic bag are meant to be transparent, it's to enable somebody to see what is contained in that forensic evidence bag, not so?
Uchila ndithi uba unobangela wokuba ngaba ke zibonakala okanye kubonakale okanye zibe transparent as bags kuba umuntu abone uba yintoni engaphakathi.
Ukucollecta ama-exhibit.
To collect exhibits,
Forensic bag do not collect exhibits. Exhibits are collected by individuals. They are put into the forensic bag, ma'am.
Injalo.
that is so.
Mhlekazi. Ukufakwa kwama-exhibit, ukucontainer ama-exhibit a-collected kwi-crime scene.
It's to place exhibits that have been collected from the crime scene.
I realize that you've got difficulty, ma'am, in explaining the situation away. I'm putting it to you, ma'am, that you saying that the reason why forensic bag are meant to be transparent is to enable someone to see what is contained in that exhibit bag. And in photo number 129, all that is depicted there, it's an envelope that is inside a forensic exhibit bag. I see no bullet there. You see no bullet there. Not so. The court sees no bullet there. My learned colleague for the state sees no bullet there. Not so.
Uthe xa uyichaza xa ubuzwa wathi unobangela kwenza uba umuntu abone uba yintoni engaphakathi. Kodwa ngoku kule ifoto akho muntu ubonayo uba bona nje i-envelope kodwa akho muntu ubonayo akubona bullet phaya.
Bendiba ndichazele mhlekazi lenkundla uba envelope isetyenziselwa ukuthi ifake ubungqina obufunyenwe kwindawo yexhakelo. Ukugcina i-integrity yayo, ukuthi ithi yofika kule ndawo eya kuyo ifike ingendlela eyiyo ingonakalanga.
I think I did explain this to the court that the envelope, or what the purpose of the envelope is, to keep the integrity of the exhibit that has been found, and when it reaches the destination, that it is still in the very same condition.
Le envelope ke eku 129 yiyo le eqokelele le exhibit eku 128.
Now, the envelope that is seen on photo 129 is the very same exhibit that is there, or that collected that exhibit which is on photo 128.
Thank
Iye
you,
yaqokelelwa yafakwa kule exhibit bag yasilwa ya photograph.
Which was taken, placed into this forensic bag, sealed and photographed
At the crime scene.
at the crime scene.
Thank you, ma'am. That is what you're saying. That's not what is depicted on this photo. Photo 129. You are busy explaining the chain. Let me tell you, chain speaks for themselves. You don't need to give any evidence aliwunde in order to support the chain. In other words, evidence aliwunde, you don't need to struggle to explain how a chain works. It simply goes on its own. That's a chain, ma'am. That's a chain of evidence, not a bicycle chain, but a chain of evidence. Oh, you did not hear it.
Not that I didn't hear, but I asked you, what if I leave something out? Can you please be brief?
Okay. Let me put it to you, ma'am. That chain of evidence speaks for itself. You don't need to adduce evidence aliwunde to explain the chain of evidence.
Uba kwenzeke ntoni kwalandela ntoni kwathini na ayonto ekufanele uyichaze okanye uyicacise leyo iyazixelela ngokunokwayo.
Njengokuba nezi zithombe zizixela ngokunokwayo umhlekazi uba kwenziwe ntoni kwi-crime scene.
Just as the pictures or the photos are self-explanatory as to what happened on the crime scene.
Thank you, ma'am. Let us proceed to another point. You say there's something that is next to the bullet, and then you said on photo number 127, I'm not mistaken, yes, photo number 127, you say that little, that little mark there, I don't know whether, but that little image there, yes, let me use the word image, that is next to a bullet is a fragment that came from the door.
Uthi phaya njengoba okubonakalayo phaya eceleni kwalambumbulu uthi ke inxalenye yocango okanye ke ya apho icango layo lophuka khona uthi inxalenye yayo le iphakula 4127.
Ewe ndisho
That's
mhlekazi.
correct.
When allegedly you identified or you found the bullet as is there, you said Mr. Musia as well was there, not so amongst others. And Zwane was there, so.
Uthi xa uyifumana umsiya nozwane babe khona.
Ewe kunjalo mhlekazi.
That's correct.
Am I correct, ma'am? Now, I'm going to use a practical thing, a practical example. Am I correct to say that soon after you saw this thing, you basically said something to the following, this is a bullet point here. And in fact, just next to it, there's a fragment here that I think came from the door. I'm just trying to, you know, to when the sketch, like to demonstrate how could you have reacted when you found that bullet, not so?
Ekuyifumaneni kwakho ke sendicinga nje uba indlela ke oye wareacta ngayo ba kune bullet apha kune bonakala bangaba kune piece yocango okanye yeplanga yocango.
Andingeke ngikwazi ukungqina ingcinga zakho mhlekazi.
I cannot confirm your thoughts.
When you found that bullet there, ma'am, where was Musia?
Wayephi umsiya xa uyifumana?
Wayekhona.
He was there.
When you found that bullet there with that item next to it, there is an item, where was Musia?
Xa wafumana ke nale piece lena wayephi umsiya?
Wayekhona.
He was there.
So Musia also saw that item there.
Naye wayibona.
Ndandinabo bayibona.
I was with them, they saw it.
Thank you. Was there any bit of a discussion around that possible item there, where it could have come from amongst you?
Phakathi kwenu ke ingaba kwaba khona ukuyincokola okanye ukuyithetha noma inoba ipiece evelaphi le?
Mhlekazi le piece iyabonakala xa ujonga ecangweni. Olicango liqhekekile. Lama piece akolicango ayafana nepiece ekulelento. So andazi uba kwakufanele ukuthi mhlambi sidiscuss ukuthi le piece ibuyaphi or kanjani. Kodwa iyabonakala uba ingxenye yayo ingabe ifuna iphuma kolicango.
It is very evident. You can see it. You see it. You look at the door, you see it. So I don't know whether we're now supposed to discuss that as to where it was coming from.
My question is, was there any piece of a discussion between you in relation to that which you're calling a piece of a door or a fragment from the door?
Ndikubuza uba ngaba naye na xoxa na okanye nancokolana ngayo.
No.
No.
So there was no comment?
Kwangekho comments.
Xa si-investigate isini mhlekazi asi-investigate based on comments.
We don't investigate based on comments when investigating a sin.
Ma'am, I'm specifically referring to the finding, to you specifically finding that bullet and that piece of a I don't know, I'm want to be very cautious. I'm going to use your word because I don't want to use mine. Upon you finding that bullet, which next to it there was a piece of what you say was a fragment from the door, it was just a silent occasion. Or did somebody, or did you alert them and say, oh, this is a bullet, and in fact next to it I see something that looks to me like it's a fragment from the door? Or it was just a silent discovery?
Wayibona nje la bullet wathula akho nto wayibhekisayo kubo ba hayi ecaleni kwale bullet kukho nale pisana ndibona ba iphuma elicangweni wabona nje awathetha nto ngalonto le.
I-finding yethu kwakuyibullet.
Our finding was the bullet.
Ngoba yiyo okwakuthiwe ibethe umnyango.
Because it was the bullet that was alleged to have hit the door.
So kwakufanele ukuthi sijonge ukuba kune-bullet nyane ebethe umnyango na njengokuba kwakutshiwo.
So we had to look and find as to whether indeed there was a bullet as it was alleged.
And sayifumana ke ibullet phezu kwe kitchen top.
And indeed, we found the bullet on top of the kitchen top.
Ma'am, what is difficult about my question? I'm simply asking you whether it was a silent finding, you saw the bullet there, you just kept quiet while your colleague was standing next to you, and then, I don't know whether you use eye languages or you use sign languages, or at some stage you said, no, this is a bullet, and in fact, next to it, there is a substance that looks to me like it's a fragment from the door. It's simple as that.
Anziphinda yonke ke lanto ininzi ithethwe phayana. Ngaba nathetha okanye zange nithethe? Sure.
Sathetha ngebullet esayifumana.
We spoke about the bullet which we found.
And that was to the exclusion of that which you're calling a fragment from the door
Naishiya le
in your conversation.
nithi inxalenye yocango.
Kunjalo mhlekazi.
That's correct.
So that explains the reason why Mr. Musia, throughout his testimony, never said anything about that little thing that you're calling a fragment that was next to the bullet. Not so.
Ingabe yiloo nto ke ngoku okanye ingangunobangela lowo ukuba umsiya naye ngoku anikeza ngobungqina engakhange athethe nto ngayo.
Andinalwazi bobungqina bukaMsiya.
I've got no knowledge of Umsiya's testimony.
Yeah, no, his testimony, he never made mention of any fragment from the door that was found next to the bullet. And he says, when that bullet was found, he was there.
Akathethanga nto. Utshilo kodwa uba ukufunyanwa kwaimbumbulu le wayekhona kodwa akathethanga nto ngalaa pisi yocango.
Ndingangqina uba wayekhona xa sifumana ibullet.
I'll confirm that he was there when we found the bullet.
Thank you. And he never made mention of anything that was found next to the bullet.
Saphindise ngilaa mbuzo mnye ke.
Ndiyakuva mhlekazi.
I hear you.
I'm going to put it to you, ma'am, that thing that you are referring to as a fragment from the door, and that bullet, which you say you found on the kitchen top, those things were never there.
Ngithi kuwe ezi zinto zimbini sizibona zazingekho phaya.
Somebody made it sure that for whatever reason that they could have heard that those things were put there.
Bake kunomntu wazibekwa ezazinto phaya. Kunomntu ke wazibeka ezazinto phaya.
Mhlawumbe inkundla ingasixelela ukuba ngibani lo muntu lo ngoba mina ndazifumana kule ndawo.
Maybe the court will then, referring to you, that you can inform us as to who that person is, because that's where I found the items.
Xa sizifumana izinto kwakundim noMsiya noZwane.
And when the items were found, it was myself, Musia, and Zwane.
And I can further tell you, ma'am, that which you are referring to as a fragment that came from the door, it was just a drawing that was made with a corky pen.
Nokuba le nto le wena uthi ke yinxalenye yocango.
In order to
Umzobo nje owenziwa ngecorky pen.
In order to trump up a case, a possible case against these poor accused persons that are before court today.
Ukuze nje beliyelenqe okanye igumgedle elakhelwa aba bahleli phambi kwalenkundla.
Mhlawumbi umhlekazi uyazi ukuthi ngibani oyenza lo yelenqa kodwa ke mina andilazi. Ndifumene isini inje ndayiphotographer as it is.
Maybe you know as to who formed part of that theory or conspiracy theory, but this is how I found it, how I found the scene.
Ma'am, that which you are referring to as something, as a fragment from the door, what value in the chain of evidence that you are collecting at the scene was to you?
Inaxabiso lini kubungqina obo okanye kwi-chain elobungqina la pisanyana leya uthi wena yeyocango?
Ayizange yacollectwa inabungqina into esasiconcentrate kuyo yibullet leyafunyanwa.
It was never
Emva
collected.
kwama-glass jars.
It was never collected as part of the evidence. The only thing that was collected that we were concentrating on is the bullet head behind the jars?
Ngoba kwakunoduyilano endlini.
Because there was a shooting in the house
And
We have just
kunomuntu owasweleka kule crime scene.
and someone lost his life in the crime scene.
Okay, ma'am, okay. If I request you to explain, I'll say, can you please explain? Do you understand? You don't need to go on and on and on and on. I'm now the captain of this ship. I'm sorry. The captain is the court. I'm assisting the court to captain this ship.
Ndizachazela ke xa kufuneke utyatyadule.
Do you understand? Now, in your testimony, you are saying that that object, that which you are referring to as a fragment from the door, it's something that came from the door and flew with the bullet to the place where it is, not so?
Ngaba uthi ke ngoku njengoba usithi ke inxalenye okanye ipisi yecango oliyana yawuthi yawubetha pha imbumbulu ecangweni. Ukuhamba kwembumbulu ke ngoku la pisanyana yahamba nala mbumbulu yaze yofikelela kulaa ndawo ibonakala ikuyo.
Ndithe ndibonisa imbumbulu enecezu lomnyango cala kwayo.
I said I'm indicating a bullet with a piece of the door next to it.
Ukuba yabhabha mhlawumbi nayo andinalwazi lwayo kodwa mina ndazifumana zinje.
As to whether it flew with the bullet, I have no knowledge of that, but this is how I found them.
Let us contextualize it, ma'am. When the bullet landed there and that item landed there, what does it say to you?
Masidibanise ke ngoku lento bangaba xa imbumbulu yawela phayana nayo la piece yawela phayana loo nto ithetha ukuthini?
Ithetha uba zafunyanwa phezu kwe-kitchen top.
It says they were found on the kitchen top.
I know they were found there. You don't need to repeat that. I'm asking you if that bullet was found there and that which you're calling as a door fragment was also found there. What does it mean? Is it not an indication that from the door, that fragment flew there or somebody, and if you're not saying that it flew there, then somebody must have put it there. That's what you're saying.
Xa usithi ayizange ke ngoku ibhabhe kunye nembumbulu into ethetha ukuthi kunomuntu owayibeka phaya.
Ingathi inkundla ifuna niqikelele and andizelanga uzoqikelela apha mina ndizothetha ukuthi yintoni endayifumana kwi-crime scene.
Looks like now the court wants me to speculate, and I'm not here to speculate. I'm here to say that which I found on the crime scene.
We are a crime scene investigator, ma'am. Amongst others, you're using your common sense, if common sense is common. Amongst others, you're using your experience. Amongst others, you're using the training that you got when you went through all these vigorous trainings. You're there as an expert to assist the court.
Ulapha ke njengomuntu olwazi ke lomsebenzi wakhe nokuncedisana nenkundla.
Ndiyavuma kodwa not kuqikelelo.
I agree, but not in speculating.
You know, the reason why, ma'am, you are saying you disregarded that piece of evidence and actually you did not package it because it wasn't there.
Unobangela uthi ke awuzange uyihoye okanye anizange niyifake ke yona ke phakathi kungoba yayingekho phaya.
Sijonga into ene-evidential value xa sicollecta i-crime scene.
When we collect a crime scene, we look for that with evidential value.
So into yokuba umnyango ndanzawuqokelela le nto le pisi yomnyango ndanzayiqokelela andiyazi ke uba inkundla yayithi ndizayisaphi.
If I was then to package and collect this and package it, I don't know what are you suggesting. Where would I have taken it to?
Are you suggesting, ma'am, that from what you found there, that if your evidence is true, of course, from what you found there, next to the bullet, to you it did not constitute any evidence that was of value, taking into account that the door has been damaged?
Xa uthi ke okanye uthi okunakufumana phana okanye wakufumana ecaleni kwalambumbulu kwangena evidential value xa uthathela ingqalelo ukuba ngaba ucango oliyana ke lwaluqhekekile.
Le piece yayingenayo evidential value.
This piece had no evidential value.
Finally, ma'am, I'm putting it to you that the reason why you could not put the thing into the forensic exhibit bag, it's because that thing wasn't there. That thing is a drawing. Any event, you could not have lifted something that was made with a corky pen.
Ngokugqibela ke ndithi unobangela uba ngaba ningazange niyithathe okanye ungazange uyithathe ke ngoba yayingekho phaya into nje ngumzobo njeya wawungeke ukwazi uthatha umzobo.
Andivumelani nawe.
I
my lord.
disagree with you.
Thank you, ma'am. Just a second, ma'am. I just want to go through my items here. Is it please the court, my lord? The finding of this bullet, let's forget about the door splinter. Let's concentrate on the bullet. In your view, I know you've said you're not here to give this court your views, but from the search of it, did it require any particular expertise for somebody to get it?
Yayifuna okanye idinga umuntu onesakhono esithile okanye onolwazi oluthile ukufunyana kwale mbumbulu.
Yiyo lento sayifumana nje. Mshekazi.
Which is why we found it.
Do you understand my question?
Oh uyawuva ubuzo wami?
Bendiba ndiphendulile ngokuva kwami.
I think, or I thought that I answer it as I heard it.
I'm going to repeat it. The manner in which you found that bullet there, do you think it's something that required any particular expertise? In other words, the place at which that bullet laid there, for somebody to find it, that person had to have an extraordinary experience or acumen to have found it there, or any other person who had searched that place would have found it.
Endikubuza kona kuba ngendlela okanye ukuyifumaneni kwenu yayidinga nje isakhono esithile okanye indlela ethile yokukhangela okanye yayinofunyana nangubani na.
Ndithetha ngami ngoba thina sakwazi ukujonga umnyango ukuthi ulimele, so safuna ukwazi ukuthi ulinyazwe yini umnyango. Yiyo lento sasearcha safumana ibullet, so anakwazi ukuthi omnye umuntu wayeza kwenza kanjani.
I am referring to myself here, that we looked at the door and saw that the door was damaged, so we wanted to know as to what caused the damage to the door, hence the looking or the searching now around. So I cannot answer on behalf of someone else.
Did you use any particular instrument to search and find that bullet, ma'am?
Ikhona into isixhobo esithile okanye esikhethekileyo esasetshenziswayo ukufumana la mbumbulu.